Good afternoon, world. This is Business Pants. We are Free Float Media. I am Damian Rollis. That is Matt Mascardi. It is October 28th, a Monday. We are live as we are want to do
Can we tell the
every
people
day.
where we came
Yeah.
from? Because I feel like we haven't
Yeah.
done that yet.
Go ahead. Cut me off. Get at it.
So we were analysts once upon a time.
Okay. We're more than that.
More than that, we're more
Yeah.
than analysts. Don't you dare put me in a box.
Yeah. Okay. Keep going.
But we worked with institutional investors, and now we're talking about the kinds of businessy pants that they used to wear.
Yeah. I was a corporate governance. I can't even say it. I was a corporate governance expert. I'm sorry, but I was.
You were. I agree with you.
Yeah, right after subtitling films. I don't know how that happened. And you, what were you?
I was an ESG research analyst and thematic
Ex-
researcher, wizard person.
Yeah.
I
And
was a wizard.
We are Free Float Media.
Now we are Free Float Media.
And again, this is Business Pants, our daily live, news show. Well, it streams live at noon, but we also release a podcast, which isn't technically live, but you know what I mean, right? You understand?
It is alive.
And I will say, I want to say something. This is our first cat-free episode because we have both very sadly locked our cat out of our studios.
Exiled outside.
So we're assholes, is what we are.
Congratulations, world. Okay, let's talk about.
Wait, what?
The weekend. It was a long weekend.
You want to talk about your weekend on a personal level?
No.
Okay, you want to get into the news?
Yeah.
I can tell you what we're talking about today.
Please. What do we got?
I don't do that enough, but I'm going to try to do that for
What's
you.
on our agenda?
We're going to start in big data and talk about the Microsoft versus Amazon battle.
Ooh, the Kung Fu match.
For Pentagon supremacy. We're going to jump into our wars category. We got to talk about TikTok. We just have to. Because it's social media, China.
A lot of wars happening.
We're going to talk about CEO pay, which we do a lot. And then we're going to jump into biz nuggets, talk about Facebook, old people, Apple lawyers, and the ongoing saga of the great sexist of 2019, Ken Fisher. And then we're going to end up in Matt's ball pit.
That's true. And where we're also going to talk about CEO pay a little bit. So,
good.
So you got a lot. Let's do it.
Yeah, I'm gonna start the clock on this one because it's a bit of a long-winded intro here. So let's start in our big data pile this week and talk a bit about Microsoft's big win over Amazon for the Pentagon's $10 billion cloud computing contract. But before we get to that, I'm going to distract myself a little bit. You okay with that, Matt?
Yeah, I was looking out the window. I'm not even paying attention to you.
So I just want to I want to sidebar this because it's a little bit about tooting my own horn, and it's another little bit about just talking about boring stuff because this is what I do.
Win-win.
So Tadashi Yanai, the CEO of Uniqlo Fast Retailing in Japan, entered a new little wrinkle into our name game here. Okay. Because last week we discussed my hatred for FANG, which is the acronym for Facebook, Amazon, Apple, Netflix, and Google. I don't like FANG. I thought it should be called FAMGA, replacing Netflix with Microsoft.
Equally as catchy.
Because Microsoft does stuff and Netflix is for stoners. But we settled on big data because data is the name of the game, really, right? I mean, that's what they're doing. They're going after data, right? That's the great data race, okay? But here's a curveball that I read today, which excited only me.
Good to tell the people.
This is what old Tadashi had to say. He said that Google, Apple, Facebook, and Amazon are collectively known as GAFA.
Wow.
First of all, holy shit! What the hell is GAFA? I don't know what a GAFA is. Second, and I just want to say this: he's obviously agreeing with me that Netflix should be kicked out of the acronym because it's GAFA. It's not GANFA or GAFNA or NAFA with a silent G, right?
But it's only a 50% agreeal.
Okay. All right. That's true. And third, GAFA? I mean, can you imagine? That's what he's...
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
When the pot and the cauldron get in a fight, FAMGA and GAFA,
yeah.
Can we just agree that all we mean is massive tech companies? That's all we're talking about.
Big data.
That's it. What do you think about this? But the story itself.
Yeah. Let me describe the story.
Do we care?
Yeah, we're going to care because I'm going to explain it in a way that makes us care.
Oh, okay. I'll sit tight.
All right. So, Microsoft's win, right, was a big surprise because Amazon has been considered the front runner. It builds cloud services for the CIA. It dominates the industry. But now Microsoft is going to be the sole contractor responsible for transforming the Pentagon's cloud computing systems over the next decade. So this is a big deal. So this is why we might care. Because here's the juicy sidebar to this story, is that President Trump hates Uncle Jeff Bezos. He taunted Bezos during this initial process, saying that there were other great companies that should have a chance at the contract. And a new book about the former defense secretary, Jim Mattis, claims that Trump told Mattis to, quote, screw Amazon.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So here are the questions for you, Matt. Is this a big win for Microsoft, or is this more about like this war between Trump and Amazon? And yeah, where are we going with this?
I think it's a big win for government contracting. That's what I think. I think actually we don't totally associate either Microsoft or Amazon with like government contract. When you think of like government contractors, you always think of like defense contracting, like, like Boeing or, any one of the big weapons manufacturers. Right. But you don't think about like the fact that they just need email,
clouds,
and like somewhere to
store
their photos. Mm-hmm. And Amazon has more than 50% of Amazon's revenue is from their web services. It's their cloud, their web infrastructure. And now Microsoft's eating a chunk out of that. At some point, do we have to start thinking about tech and corruption in government contracting? Do we need to, is that like a thing we need to because we don't talk about that ever.
Yeah. Well,
do we care?
Yeah. I think we don't care today, but I think this is something we will be caring about, right? I mean, because this is gonna be big when somebody infiltrates, Microsoft's cloud or whatever, right? I mean, this is gonna be bigger, has to be.
Oh, it's definitely, yeah. It's gonna be when that happens, then it's a foregone conclusion. But to your question, this is definitely more anti-Amazon than it is pro-Microsoft, right? Like if you're Microsoft, isn't this getting asked to the prom to spite your ex-girlfriend? Like, isn't this?
Yeah, but maybe this puts Microsoft into this game now. I mean, this is the crazy thing is like this just stupid turf war between Trump and Bezos. Yeah, it might have just sort of launched a new, part of Microsoft's business, right?
It justifies FAMGA.
Yeah, thank you. I mean, that's the only reason why I picked this story because
you and Trump just mind melded. The two of you are one.
Well, notice that I didn't kick Amazon out of FAMGA. I kicked Netflix out. So it would have been good if Microsoft had beaten Netflix at something.
Which happened to know nothing.
No, I mean, I think most of our young listeners under 30, which I'm guessing there are a lot of, don't even know what the hell Microsoft is.
All of them are under 30.
How do they even know what Microsoft is? They've never heard of it.
Oh, P.S. There are none of them. There are none listeners. So congratulations.
Stupid young people. All right.
Can't wait till we get to this segment on old people. Coming up soon.
Onto wars, where I promise to be terse, a.k.a. to shut up a bit more. I'm going to make this one short and sweet. Here it is. TikTok.
Boo-doo.
Right? Biggest social media app for young people.
That's it. That's the intro.
China owns TikTok.
Does.
Right?
Yeah.
It's fashionable to hate China.
It is. No one likes them.
senators from the left and the right want an investigation into TikTok
and China. Yeah.
And TikTok says baloney.
What?
So where we're going?
TikTok says baloney.
Yeah. So
is it really,
what I want to know, Matt? Yeah. What?
Look, China, China, I like you. We can be friends. But
do you like Hong Kong and China?
You don't exactly have a track record of not destroying things you don't like, right? So if TikTok is owned by China, it would be sort of right to be afraid that China might use TikTok against things it doesn't like.
Okay. So who should be afraid? You mean the American government or individual users?
I don't think the government should be afraid, because China to me is not any better or worse than Mark Zuckerberg. Like if TikTok is the alternative to Facebook right now, which it kind of is, then you're either saying we should put all of our trust in one guy, who has all the voting power and all the power to do whatever he wants on that with Facebook, or a government that actively represses anybody who disagrees with them. Do we think those things are materially different in some ways?
Well, one is, an American getting rich off of the backs of other Americans, and the other one is what?
So what you're saying is we just feel more comfortable with capitalism.
Yeah, I think we definitely understand our own more than not our own.
I mean, the incentive flows are very, that's the difference. Like the incentive is Mark Zuckerberg wants to make money and China wants to make mind control. What do they want?
Do they? Is that fair though?
I'm not sure it is.
When does the demonization of China become just sort of ridiculous?
But I don't think it's demonization. I think it's I think in the end, so think of this like as stakeholders think of this, not as investors think of this. Mm-hmm. The stakeholders should be the most concerned or interested in this is you, the user of these things, because you are giving, it doesn't matter if it's TikTok or Facebook or Twitter, you are giving the platform your data for free, and they can make money off of it or quash rebellion, whatever they want to do, right? It isn't a China story to me, these tech companies. It's a data story. It's who owns the data. And the government could argue like China shouldn't own the data. That's dangerous for defense reasons. But I think that's not a material argument, because Mark Zuckerberg owns my data otherwise, and he's got his own incentives.
To your point, what you're saying is that we have no effect over either ownership structure, right? I mean, we can't. Facebook is dominated by Zuckerberg. We have no say in what he does, and TikTok is dominated by China. We have no say in what they do. So what's the difference?
That's kind of how I feel. I feel like the people who should be paying closest attention to something like TikTok are the people who pay the least attention to something like TikTok, which is the ones who download the app and just use it, right?
The only difference I can see from my daughter's use of TikTok is that TikTok is fun and Facebook isn't. So China wins.
That's why Facebook is for old people and TikTok is for young people. But both of them win. Oh, they all win because they just took your data for free and do whatever they want with it. They win.
We only have 15 seconds here, so I just want to say this. Is China going to be ever allowed to do anything anymore? Like, are they allowed? They can't.
They are. They're repressing Hong Kong uprising, so they're totally allowed to do that.
Well, they have NBA.
They're also quashing the NBA and anybody who disagrees with them. So they're allowed.
All right, let's go to CEOs rule.
Do they though?
Believe me, they do. I mean, not in like the the 90s MTV Unplugged way, but in the we have all the money FU way, definitely.
Even better.
Speaking of money, a new report highlights that it would take 100 years for the average employee to earn what their CEO makes in 1 year. And I just wanted to highlight, this is kind of old news for us, and maybe hopefully for you out there, that your CEOs are ridiculously wealthy. But there's two fun offenders I want to talk about. The first is Walmart, which has a CEO to worker pay gap of 1,076 to 1.
Mm.
So the average Walmart worker who makes about $22,000 a year would have to work for 1,076 years to earn as much as Walmart CEO Doug McMillon, who made about 24 million. Yeah.
First of all, that's a brilliant reframing of the CEO employee ratio.
Forget this ratio. Everyone hates ratios.
Yep. The ratio's stupid, but when you say it would take 1,000 years for them to make it, that is significantly more interesting to me.
Well, maybe that's what we should be doing here more energetically at Free Float Media is reminding people that we like to reframe so that you understand.
We
right?
reframe your ratios for you.
Here's the one that's even crazier to me. Mostly because who knew that the Gap was still one of the 500 biggest companies? It's not even at our mall here in Portland, Maine. The Gap is gone. Like it's like Facebook compared to the TikTok and anyway.
Well, both of them are highly lucrative and giant companies.
I didn't know this.
That was a terrible analogy.
No, but I'm saying like. Yeah, I guess you're right. Okay, you win. My point being that I don't do Facebook and I don't go to the Gap. That's my point. But I'm okay with TikTok because occasionally it makes me chuckle. So Gap's CEO Art Peck, which is a great name for a CEO, Art Peck, makes about $21 million, 3,566 times as much as his typical worker, so that it would take 3,566 years to earn as much as Art Peck. And part of the reason why the average worker at Gap makes about $6,000 is they basically only hire seasonal employees. So.
Yeah. What should that number be smaller?
Because you think that's not an accurate way of.
Well, here's my question. Mm-hmm. What should a CEO make?
Okay, I have an answer for this, actually. So Peter Drucker, often considered the father of modern management science, believes that a healthy CEO to worker pay ratio was about 25 to 1. So it should take you 25 years to make as much as your CEO. But that sounds reasonable.
25 is really small compared to what numbers exist.
Why is that small?
No, I mean just compared to what the numbers that are in the market today. That number is like most CEOs would have to take a drastic pay cut.
But Drucker probably said this back in the day when people weren't afraid to go outside, right? I mean, he probably said that a long time ago. That's my guess.
Yeah, well, now people are too busy on TikTok to pay attention to the fact that they'd have to use TikTok for 14,000 years to own as much data as TikTok does.
Well, the good news is that since China controls TikTok, I don't even know if we know how much the CEO of TikTok makes.
Oh, well, China.
Is that good news?
GDP? I don't know.
All right. I'm not sure about that one. I'm not sure we adequately described that very well.
Well, let's talk about something else.
Yeah, let's get into our biz nugget pile.
What do we got for our nugs today?
Facebook. Start the clock. Okay. Facebook removed an ad, right? Got that? Removed a political ad. Huh? Confusing, right? Which falsely claimed that Republican Senator Lindsey Graham supported the Green New Deal, demonstrating that it will fact-check ads from political groups but not politicians.
I saw that.
Okay, so can I just say, at the same time, it also launched its hand-picked news stories feature. So, yeah. So Facebook,
I saw a fascinating op-ed about that too. But for the first part, do they need evidence that the political candidate filmed it themselves, as a selfie video? What's the criteria exactly?
I don't know. They're mad about deepfakes, but they're not mad about liars. The criteria is what they make up as they go along, which makes all the more implausible this notion that Zuckerberg is essentially in control of regulating and legislating this whole process, right? I mean, they're clearly making it up as they go along.
I mean, the money comes. So last week, I posited that it's all about revenue, right? Like it's not weird policy.
Ad revenue.
It's all about where the revenue comes from. This confuses me because the revenue comes from PACs. Like they have all the money. But they're now saying, so now like the PAC can't lie, but the politician can? We've just given up. Have we just given up? We're just like, there's no rules. There's no rules anymore. I almost feel like wouldn't it be easier if Facebook just said, look, anybody who's willing to pay us to put an ad out, we'll put the ad out. It's not our responsibility to police that content.
Well, when they say that, can they put that big trust bubble up so that we know that we can trust them as they take our money?
That's exactly right. I wish I had that graphic right now because that trust bubble would go from like outside Venn diagram to it would be like a sperm and egg thing where the two of them would just combine and there'd be trust babies that went everywhere.
But this is where we're at. I think this is the important thing is that Zuckerberg is basically saying, to like people like Senator Warren, no, you can't get involved. Trust me. Like I can handle this, right? Like I will lead this country into the future of all of this, right? But isn't that what he's doing?
Yeah, and it's really confusing.
It is. Okay, next biz nugget. This is a good one. The McDonald's Japan CEO finally found a use for old people, right?
Yes.
And here's the use for old people.
Not the workforce?
Make them work at McDonald's in Japan.
Oh, you know what? Japan also they've been trying for a few years now to figure out a use for women because they weren't using those either in the workforce.
Right.
So look at you, Japan, innovating. Just it's all about innovation, getting it done.
I also say that she also said that technology is not a substitute for real human interaction. So I don't know if this is like genius level of like world outlook here, worldview. I don't know.
But old people.
Yeah, old people.
They are a substitute for AI.
How would you feel about an old person serving you food at McDonald's? You okay
a
with
little
that?
Sad.
What if they were good looking old people?
I would. No, I kind of feel like, so the retirement system has failed you so much that you need to work at McDonald's?
This is where you end up. I know. This is the reward for 50 years of toil.
Honestly, what I would think is 3,000 years it will take you to earn as much as the CEO of McDonald's Japan.
Like 10,000 episodes of Matlock. All right, our next biz nugget. In our "We Can't Make This Shit Up" category, now this is a good one. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
A former Apple lawyer, Gene Levoff, whatever. Okay, former Apple lawyer, Gene. I'm gonna call him Gene.
Genie.
Okay, ready? He was in charge of enforcing Apple's insider trading policy.
Okay.
So he faces criminal charges related to insider trading of Apple stock.
Okay.
Got it?
Yeah.
So the man who was in charge of enforcing Apple's insider trading policy is now charged with insider trading. Beautiful.
Wait, back up. I don't understand.
It's beautiful and sick symmetry. I love it. It's beautiful. All right. Last nugget. Let's go back to our sexist Fisher index because we've been tracking Kenny Boy Fisher.
Fisher.
We have 3 more withdrawals to report. The Los Angeles Fire and Police Pension System, the Employees Retirement System of Texas, and not to be outdone, a little outfit known as Goldman Sachs. So our total amount of Fisher sucks withdrawals is now over $3 billion, Matt.
$3 billion.
Yeah.
The total assets under management was like $120 billion.
Okay, but we're getting there. We're getting.
So where's everybody else?
Be an optimist.
Everybody else is in a bar trying to pick up girls.
No, everybody else is in Matt's ball pit.
Welcome to Matt's ball pit. All right. So I want to talk about a few things today. And Damien has seen none of this.
Yeah.
Okay. It's just for the viewers. Adam Neumann got me thinking. Mm-hmm. This is something that you hear a lot. You might want to start the timer on my ball pit because otherwise I will continue.
Too much effort. Yeah.
Adam Neumann got me thinking.
Yeah.
How much it costs for failure.
WeWork's Adam Neumann.
Adam Neumann.
The poster child of failure.
The new poster child of individual wealth at the expense of shareholder wealth or shareholder value.
Yeah.
Or really any other value. Employees getting fired.
Yeah, stakeholder value.
Stakeholder value. All value of any kind.
Value. Yeah.
Values of any kind.
Yeah.
Which got me thinking, how much did we pay for Sorry? And I'm going to introduce the Sorry Efficiency Index. And I'm going to give you first and foremost, I'm going to give you a little primer using Adam Neumann on what this thing is. Okay, so first and foremost, Adam Neumann at WeWork got paid $2.4 billion between 2018 and 2019. He took a $700 million withdrawal effectively at the end of 2018 and then got paid $1.7 billion in order to leave the company that he founded and left in wreckage.
Right.
You got, as a shareholder, negative $39 billion. Okay?
Oh, okay.
That is the difference between the valuation that Goldman Sachs was pimping at the height of the pre-IPO of around $47 billion and the value now, which is they're valuing the company around $8 billion in non-IPO. So congratulations. This gives us, this is a new metric that I want to introduce on the world. You paid $16.25 per dollar you lost.
Ooh,
so
okay.
Adam Neumann, you paid him $16 for every dollar that you lost.
Okay. Wait, every dollar I lost.
Sorry, it's the other way around. For you you basically lost $16 for every dollar you paid Adam Neumann.
Okay. Oh, so I gave him $1 and then I burned.
And then I burned 16 of mine, right?
Okay,
like, so that's the index here. This is the Sorry Efficiency Index. Adam, I'm going to give you $1 and then I'm going to light 16 of mine on fire. That's what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
Okay. So little game here for you. You've not seen any of this. Denny Muhlenberg of Boeing.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
It's not
no longer the chairwoman, but the CEO.
He's the CEO.
Boeing.
He's been stripped.
Just the CEO.
He's been stripped of title.
Yeah.
Because how dare you think of stripping him anything else?
Yeah.
Denny Muhlenberg and the prior CEO. Okay, so this is like the period of Boeing starting the 737 MAX 8 all the way to the crashes. He got paid $155 million.
Yeah.
What do you think you got? For every dollar you gave Denny,
how much did I burn?
How much did you burn?
And we're not gonna, I'm not gonna mention the loss of human life here. I'm just gonna talk about the amount of money that I burnt.
Purely as a shareholder, how much?
So I give Denny $1 and then I burn. I don't even know how to think about this. I guess I burn. Why would I burn money?
That's a good way to think about it because the answer is you got negative $59 billion.
Yeah.
And you burned $380 for every dollar you gave a Boeing CEO.
And this guy still is the CEO.
Still the CEO. Managed to retain the CEO status as you light your money on fire. Okay,
and two horribly catastrophic plane crashes.
I'm not even forget loss of life and morality and doing the right thing. Just lose it.
But just the point is, he still has a job.
He still has a job. He paid. So this is based on this $9 billion in lost revenue for Boeing so far, right now, and the drop in market cap from the height this year. So this is really forget stakeholders. We're just saying as a shareholder, this is how much you're burning. Welcome to Burning Man. All right, let's play again. One last one.
One last one.
Because this was in the news last week. Exxon.
Yeah.
Being brought to court by New York Attorney General's office because it effectively, how do I put this? Misrepresented everything it knew about climate change. Okay. So they brought it to court. The suit has started. In the period of the lawsuit between 2010 and 2016, where they basically said you used all the wrong numbers for climate change and misled investors. Rex Tillerson, who was the CEO for the majority of that period, got paid, and the next CEO, D.W. Wood, got paid a collective $209 million in that 6-year period. What did you get?
So, wait, no. Okay, yeah.
Not what you burned yet. What did you get?
Okay, what did I get? You tell me. Go ahead.
What you got was negative $109 billion estimated.
Okay, and some good old-fashioned Earth destruction.
Well, embedded in there is the cost of carbon would have been if they had disclosed it, plus some estimated loss of market capitalization. Because right now we're in the middle of this lawsuit. So right now we don't know what they actually lost.
Right.
You're in the middle of burning this.
Okay. Good.
How much are you burning?
Yeah. Can I guess? Did you post it already?
It's up.
Oh. Whoa. Okay.
509.
So I gave Trump's first Secretary of State, Rex Tillerson, former CEO of Exxon. I gave him $1, and then I burnt $519 of my own.
Go to your bank account right now. Go to your bank account right now.
Yeah.
Take $1.
Yeah.
Give it to someone outside.
Give it to Rex.
Don't just give it to anybody. Just give it to somebody outside. Take $519, lay it on the sidewalk, and light it on fire.
All right.
This is something that I want to watch.
I like it.
How much did we pay for the Sorry Efficiency Index?
I like it. I see what you find in Matt's Ball Pit, people. Nowhere else. There's not a single show that has Matt's Ball Pit.
You'll never know how much money you're burning somewhere.
No. That's today's Business Pants, Matt. We are a couple minutes over, so let's call it a show.
You are Damian Rollis.
That's Matt Moscardi.
Thanks for joining us, everybody.
Yeah, we are Free Float Media.
Free Float Media. See you tomorrow.